The geopolitical function of the Oder River today is that it is the international border between Poland and Germany, also known as the Oder-Neisse line, a 470 kilometers long international border. And it's important to understand why it was determined and how we got to the situation that we have today. The advancement of the Soviet forces during the war, after the Ribbentrop-Molotov agreement was broken by the Nazis, pushed the German forces into the Oder Valley and into those muddy lands that they were trying to protect. It would be later on in conferences like Yalta and of course in the Potsdam conference that military advisors set together around the round table with the heads of the delegations, with Stalin and Truman and Attlee, and they made most of the determination of where the border would be and how the land would be divided. And in this particular case, it was largely a question of de facto where the forces are. And this is important to understand about negotiations, because what's important is three things in a situation like this: where your forces are, what it is you know about the other side, and what it is you want. The outcome of the war and the topography of the river were the determining factors on why the river and the valley eventually became the border between Germany and Poland. For the Polish people later on, by the way, that would be a very symbolic return of the lost lands of the Piast dynasty. But for the German ethnics who were on the side that is today Poland, since the days of Frederick the Great and occupation of Silesia in the 1740s, that would mean that millions of people would be moved into what we have as Germany today, into the western bank of the river. The diplomatic validation would only arrive in the 1950 during the Treaty of Zgorzelec, the 1970 with the Ostpolitik and the Agreement of Warsaw, and finally the famous 2+4 agreement in 1990, and that's the border we have today. And I'm happy to say, someone who cycles in this region quite a lot, there's a lot of collaboration, political, commerce, and nature conservation, so it's a really good border. So there you go. This is a little bit of Głogow, the modern day city now, and a little bit of the river Oder. Thank you for watching. See you in Berlin.